Bring it back.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Car Mechanic Simulator. Today we're going to be completely overhauling this slightly disgustingly coloured Toyota Supra. So far I've basically sorted out the suspension underneath, done all the brakes and all that good sort of stuff, put all the shock absorbers back in, all that, and got it set up. I've got the engine taken out on a stand over there. I've sorted out any of the rust problems around the car, and I've got the rest of the body panels to go on. I'm definitely not going to keep it this sort of a bluish purple. I can't say I'm a fan. So for those of you who don't know this game that well, so in the base game it's mostly sort of American cars. So this is actually a modded car. Someone's created themselves and made available, which I've then modded into the game. So model wise it's quite a good mod. I think it looks quite nice. Obviously it's a little hard to tell without all the bumpers and everything on, but we'll put them on later. Some things aren't perfect about it because they've just had to work with sort of the core components of the game. So if we go and have a look at the engine, whatever it is, a 2JZGE or whatever the Supra is supposed to have, although it's got an intercooler, so presumably it's the turbo model, so 2JZ GT or whatever it is, but there's no turbo on the actual engine, and for some reason it's got carburetors on the engine rather than fuel injectors. But I think this is probably just the limitations of, because the only inline 6 they've got in the game is obviously an old American carbed version of the inline 6, so they've obviously been a bit limited with what they can do. So it's a pretty cool model, but it has just got a few little flaws there. So first things first is let's strip this engine down. So if we just have to imagine that these aren't carburetors, but it's just fuel injectors. Often the mods are a little like this, they just have a few little small problems, but it's not the modder's fault, it's just, you know, they can only work with what they've got available in the game, and if there's not a fuel injected inline 6 in the game already, then you know, they can't use it to make a modded car. So let's get the engine head off. So once we get this engine stripped down, we'll get all the parts repaired, or as much repaired as we can, and then that's a chain drive. And then we should get the engine put back together, get it dropped back in the car, sort out the rest of the engine bay. Then we'll go and move on to do the body panels. So we'll get all the bumpers, doors, windows and everything put in. Then we can get it to the paint shop, change that disgusting colour. Apologies if anyone has got a Supra in that colour, but it's just not for me. And yes, then we can take it out for a spin on the track. So I'm just undoing all the camshaft caps to get the cams out. I'll have to take the timing chain off the end as well. There's just a lot of caps holding these cams in place on this engine, unfortunately. So once we've got there we go. So it's a random floating fuel filter. So let me take that off. So let's have a look at the timing belt cover. So it wants to take, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't have an ignition distributor either. Let's just take this to pieces to get it out of the way. Good. So they've just got the auxiliary belts for the alternator and the water pump. Let's get these off. So yes, I think the actual engine's it's a 3 litre. I think obviously Supras have both a normally aspirated and a turbo engine, and this, this is sort of a hybrid between the two, really. Having an intercooler would make you think it's a turbo, but there's no turbo on the engine, so just one of those things. So let's get the timing chain off. Oops, blimey, not doing very well there. And then we can take the cam gears off at the end, and then get the cams out. And then we should be able to get the head off. Excellent. Let's undo these bolts and get the engine head off. So I've generally had good feedback about these type of videos. Most people have been enjoying them. If you're enjoying this one, I've got other sort of similar videos out. We've got one on what have I also done? Oh, I've done a Toyota Supra GT4. That was quite a good one, and that was a bit of quite an accurate model as well. So go and check that one out if you're enjoying this one. Yes, and I've done like a Mini Cooper, done a Land Rover Defender. So yeah, I've had quite a few good models in this game, which I've really enjoyed doing. And hopefully do. I was thinking, I also noticed there's a Skyline and an R32 available, so I might get that as a mod and have a go at doing that one as well. Definitely a bit of a Japanese car theme going on, which who doesn't like Japanese cars? So we'll take all the rod caps off, and then let's take the pistons out upside down. Oops, there we go. And the other one. Get all 6 out. So, and they've got the camshaft bearings, holding crankshaft even. And then I'll also have to take all the flywheel and the clutch off the end, and then we should be able to drop the crank out. And that'll be about that, and then we can take everything over to the repair bench and see what we can get repaired up. So if I just pop over to the end, to the flywheel, so the clutch plate, and then there should be the actual clutch, and then the flywheel after that. There we go. Okay, the crank should come out, and that should be the block. Excellent. So we've got it dismantled, so let's head over to the repair bench and just quickly smash through everything we've got available here. So a few things breaking there. Not a particularly interesting thing to watch, but there we go, all done. Oops. So let's head back over and let's see what we've got available to put this thing back together. We'll have to buy some parts because a lot of things are going to be broken. I haven't got an oil filter yet. I'm going to have to get pistons because pistons don't repair. And I don't want to be in the tyre shop. So let's get a piston. So we want 6 pistons. And of course I don't want to forget the piston rings either. Just as important. So let's come back on and drop these in. Drop these in here. Not the most exciting part of the build, but an essential one nonetheless. Okay, now we need to retain these with the rod caps, which have all repaired hopefully. It would also probably make sense to have screwed the crank in first before attaching all the pistons to it, but the game doesn't make you do everything in sort of the proper order, so you can sort of pick and choose how you want to do it a little bit. Good, let's get them in. Okay, now we've done that, we might as well try and retain the crankshaft. If you enjoy the video, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe. I've got lots more car mechanic content coming on. I also do sort of a few history and strategy games. I've only got 33 subscribers as of now, although that's more than I thought I was going to have at this stage. So if you enjoy the videos, really appreciate it if you can subscribe, it really does help. So with that out of the way, let's flip this back over. What else have we got? The alternator should have repaired, which it has. Bolt that on. And the water pump. I won't have a water pump pulley, but the head will be done. So let's, distressingly large amount of bolts on the head. Let's get all these screwed in. Thankfully, things don't screw in at real time, otherwise we'd be here all day. Spark plugs. So I need 6 spark plugs. I get 6 of them. I also need a water pump pulley. So the water pump pulley, there we go. Let's get that. So let's drop the spark plugs back in. I should probably put the cams in first really, but as I said earlier, I don't really have to do things in the right order, it doesn't matter. Drop the 2 camshafts back in, and then let's see if we've got all the none of the caps are repaired, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14 inline 6 camshaft caps. That's going to be rather expensive. $400 just to retain killer camshafts. Outrageous. So now you've got to sit through me retaining 14 camshafts caps. So as I said earlier, after this one I'll get all the body panels back on. I've got all the bumpers and everything sorted. All the headlights, the doors, the windows, all the glass and etc. So we'll get that on, and at least it will start to look like a proper Supra again. And then we can take it over to the paint shop. I don't know what colour we're going to paint this. Something nicer than it already is, I guess is all I'll have to say. And then we can take it for a spin on the track, where, given I've only got a keyboard, I'll almost certainly drive straight into a wall. Let's drop this on. And a couple more to go, and then we should be done. We've got the carb. Just it feels strange to say we've got the carburetors to put back on when we're dealing with a Supra. But there we go, and we have. So let's have a look back at this end. Let's get the timing stuff sorted. I'm pretty sure the cam gears won't have repaired. No. So I need to get the cam gears. I'm going to assume it's that one. Timing chain. I'll have a go at that one. Or it could be that one as well, so we'll have a go at that one as well. Anyway, it'll almost certainly be neither. So let's drop these two cam gears back on. Oh, got the right one. What a miracle. Timing chain sprocket. I haven't got one of them though. Timing chain sprocket. There we go. Do not want the timing chain to skip any teeth. That would certainly be overall bad for the engine. Timing chain cover. There it is. Get that. Only $100. Bargain. Get this screwed in. And the engine head cover failed as well. Having to make a lot of visits to the shop. Apologies. Engine head cover. There we go. Drop that in and bolt this back into place. Quite a few bolts retaining that. So I'm not sure of what these have repaired. Yes, these have all repaired. These imaginary fuel injectors. I suspect the air filters will not have repaired though, so we'll have to buy new ones of them. A round air filter side draft. I do highly recommend though, if you haven't got this game, I really would say check it out. As I say, it's not perfect, but it is pretty good fun. And you know, sometimes it can be more accurate than you think, and certainly worth a play. So I need an ignition distributor. Distributor cap. Got some ignition wires for both. Get everything there, so hopefully we should just be able to drop this in and get it fully up. Nearly there with the engine now, not too much further to go hopefully. So I need a crankshaft pulley, an oil filter, and then we should be about done. Crankshaft pulley, what else did I need? Oil filter, that was it. Inline 6 oil filter and a fuel filter as well. Awesome, so let's just drop these last little bits on. I'm going to have a few belts and stuff to put on, just thought. I need a serpentine belt B. Serpentine belt, oh I'll have one of them. B, and we'll have one of them. And we'll have one of them. hopefully that should cover what we need, although knowing my luck, I'll have brought the wrong one. One of them. Never, oh, yeah. What a hero. Drop the oil filter on. Oh, I forgot the clutch. Okay, nearly there, honestly. Flywheel. And then just the 3 clutch parts. So the plate, the pressure, and the release bearing. So, let's pop around the other side. And drop the clutch on. Clutch plate. Fold that into place. And the release bearing. Okay, so assuming I haven't missed anything, which is a bit of an if, we should be all back up and running. Okay, excellent. So let's grab this engine off the stand, and then using this engine crane we should be able to install the front exhaust section. Oh, okay. Let's quickly jack the car back up, hop underneath and take out that front exhaust section there. Okay, can put that back on in a minute. It just won't let me put the engine in with that on. So install that. There we go, it's looking better already. So I haven't put the manifolds back on because you have to put them all in when the car is in place. So let's just quickly hop under, drop the front exhaust back in, and that should allow me if the wheel gets out of the way. Oh, okay, I have to put it on from the engine bay. We'll put the gearbox in instead. We'll also have to have the drive shaft because obviously it's a rear wheel drive car. Starter motors from the engine bay. So let's get the drive shaft bolted in so we can actually move. Pop back out of this mode, lower the car back down. Hop over here and put the manifolds on. One more. Excellent. It's looking good. What else have I forgotten? Forgot to put the intercooler in. Yes, I have. Silly me. So obviously the intercooler should just go up front. Hopefully it's repaired, which it is. There we go. Got my intercooler in, even though it's not a turbo car. So why it's there, I don't know. So let's have a look at body panels. No, let's put some oil in the car. That's a critical mistake that I almost always forget. So let's get some oil in there. Obviously not a fan of castor oil in this game. So assembly mode. So let's start to get this car back together. So put the bonnet on. It's pretty basic, the reassembling a car, but it actually makes a big difference to the looks. I mean, look at it, it's looking a lot better already, isn't it? It's starting to look like a real Supra again. Drop the window in. Bumpers. Rear light clusters. We've got the Supra badge on the back. Let's get the glass door in. The side mirrors. Okay, so barring having no wheels, I think we're starting to looking good. I don't think I've missed anything there. Okay, let's quickly hop this thing up, bung 4 wheels on it, and get it to the paint shop. Hopefully, I haven't forgotten anything. But that's one thing about this game, you'll find it is quite easy to forget like a silly little rubber bushing somewhere, or leave the ignition coils off the engine or something like that, and then you go to start it and it won't move. So hopefully that won't happen, but no guarantees. Okay, let's get one more wheel on and then we'll get to the paint shop. I was quite pleased with these rims, these look quite good. Seem fairly accurate. Okay, so get the car, move car to the paint shop. Let's go and have a look what we've got. Oops, running into the Let's have a look. Are there any liveries available? Oh no, that's utterly awful. Don't know why that does that. So let's have a look. What? Ooh, it looks better in a much more of an ultramarine blue sort of. And red. Red's pretty good. So far, I'm thinking it's like a deep red. Let's have a go. Something like that is what I'm thinking. Let's go with that. So, I'm pretty pleased with that. I think that looks pretty good. I sorted all the interior out earlier in terms of seats and everything, steering wheel, all that bump. So I'm just going to hop out and see, go to the garage door, and hopefully it should let me take it to the test track without too many problems. Will it go? There's a start. See? Sorry guys, I just knew I was going to forget something. Will it let me work on it in here? Yeah. Starter is obviously a pretty critical component if I necessarily want to bump start the car to the racetrack. Let's, oops, where am I going? I'm just going to move the car to the garage entrance. So in case I'm forgetting anything else, I don't have to keep walking backwards and forwards. Look at that. What a sick little car. Love it. So, racetrack. There's clip B missing. Oh, God. Now, where have I missed that from? I fear it's going to be the ignition distributor. Yes. So I did say, you guys, I'm sorry. It's so easy to forget silly little things like that. It's got the clips on it. Okay, come on. Third time's the charm. Yay! So we'll load up the racetrack. We'll get in, take her for a quick spin before finishing this video off. I'm trying to sort of keep them around the 20-minute mark. I'm conscious I'm probably over that already. And particularly with all the recording software running and everything, it takes a little bit of time to load these different scenes in. So, as I say, apologies. I've only got keyboard and a mouse, so trying to drive is almost impossible, as you'll see as soon as we reach the first corner. Well, as we head round, I'd just like to say I hope you've whoa, that's slippy. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've been really enjoying making these car mechanic videos and doing the different cars, particularly with the Japanese cars. This is a bit of a Japanese car nut myself. If you've enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate it if you can subscribe, like, anything you'd like to say about the car, in terms of either model accuracy or anything like that, or anything just about the videos, what could be improved or what you liked, then please comment below. I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. Thanks, and I shall see you on the next one.